What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for yet another Tottenham update for you guys, and we're going to start off talking about Davinson Sanchez, as Ryan Taylor reporting that Sanchez is not short of interest. A host of European clubs, including Betis, Strasbourg, Galatasaray, Spartak Moscow, Fenerbahce and Villarreal, have all held discussions. The fee mooted is around 10 to 13 million pounds, and a transfer is expected to be finalised in the coming weeks. I mean, it feels like we're just like regurgitating this Sanchez news over and over again. Like, usually it just comes up with one club, and this is like all of them put together.
It's crazy. Why is there such a bidding war? I can't really get my head around it, but look, it's good for us. The more clubs involved, the more money we could get. He's out on our pre-season tour at the moment, and the more he plays, he's probably going to drive the price down. So I think we should stop playing him. But
what do you mean? What a great assist he got! Surely that puts $500,000 on his price tag.
And then the mistake for the goal probably takes off $1 million. So I think that's probably how it works, unfortunately. Look. Any of those moves, that'll be fine for me. Whatever he wants. Villarreal will be a great move. I'm very surprised they've taken to replace Pau Torres.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like Pau Torres really good on the ball, and then you swap him for Sanchez, who's like one of the worst on the ball. But anyway, let's talk about Harry Kane now, because there's some quotes from Ange Postecoglou talking about the Harry Kane situation, and he says, fair to say I'm not relaxed about it. While my focus isn't on it on a daily basis because I've got other things I need to do, I know that every time I'm talking to you guys, I think everyone concerned, we don't want to be doing it for too long. I don't think that is good for anyone. But the flip side of that is that I don't want to put a deadline on it, because that adds even more pressure. You want these things to happen for the right reasons. So Ange clearly getting a little bit frustrated with the Harry Kane situation at the moment.
Yeah, and it makes sense when you've got so much uncertainty clouding your best player. It's obviously going to take its toll, regardless of whether you believe he's committed or not to the cause while he's here. When you're constantly asked about it, and people are basically forcing it into the front of your mind, when you're just trying to put it to the back of your mind and concentrate on getting the team to a level to compete for once the Premier League starts, it's obviously going to get frustrating. And as soon as it's dealt with, he knows that situation is going to be over, and he'll stop being asked about it. So I think it makes sense that I'm a bit surprised, to be honest, that he's saying like that he's not relaxed about it. I'm a bit surprised he publicly said that. I would have thought that he would have just towed the party line and said like, it's fine, whatever happens kind of thing. But I guess maybe a tinge of frustration has come out, and it's been displayed publicly, and that's quite telling, I would say. But I think he's right to say I don't want to put a deadline on it, because otherwise, because if that deadline comes and goes and nothing happens, all of a sudden there's even more questions to be asked. So I think that's the right thing.
Yeah, it's just frustrating, isn't it? Because it's like the forefront of all journalist questions every time he comes to the press. Anytime Harry Kane is going to be talked about in the press, it's going to be revolving that and not about the style of play and what the plans are for next season and everything like that. Everything is just centered around Bayern Munich and this move for Harry Kane. And is he going to stay? Is he going to sign? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? And the situation needs to be put to bed, but we all know this is going to rumble on all the way till the end of next season, probably.
Yeah, and that's something, and until he either confirms that he's staying for the summer, or we accept a bid, that's just going to happen. And unfortunately, that's the situation we're in. Yeah. I don't know what we can do about it.
Yeah, but let's move on and let's talk about potential options if Harry Kane does leave. And Miguel Delaney claiming that Ivan Toney is an option. He says that Tottenham really like Brentford striker Ivan Toney, but that would be more likely if Spurs were to lose Harry Kane, or if he does leave on a free next summer, given his suspension up until halfway through this season. And I'll tell you what, Ivan Toney, I would love him as a replacement for Harry.
I would as well. I think it'd be perfect. I actually think he's not just a goal scorer, despite the fact he got 18 Premier League goals last season. I think he's got a really good all-round game, really strong aerially as well, from corners and challenges in the box. I think he's actually quite an underrated link-up player with his passing ability. I think great finisher. And I actually think, like, let's say if we sold Kane this summer, I would actually buy him this summer, even though he's banned for 6 months. I would actually buy him now, because if there's any chance we can get any sort of money off buying him this summer, I would do it and bite the bullet. The only reason I don't think Levy would is because I don't think he wants to pay his wages for 6 months without him playing. So I can't see it happening on that basis. But I think it would be the smart thing to do to sign him now, because come January the price might go up a bit.
But I think, am I not right in saying that when next summer comes, he's only got a year left on his contract, so that might drive the price down a little bit.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I mean, I'll check that up, but I'm pretty sure that's the case, to be honest. But in terms of Ivan Toney in general, he's an absolutely brilliant player, and I think that would be lucky to have him as well. England as well, which helps with that situation. Yeah, so his contract expires in 2025. So in next summer, he'll have only a year left. So I guess that's going to drive down the price a little bit as well.
Yeah, but there's no guarantees on signing a contract or anything. You just don't know. So you can't rely on that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would sign him now if Kane's leaving. I would sign him.
How much do you reckon right now, today, you get for him?
Well, he's 27 years of age, is he?
He's 27, yeah.
27. I think he's probably worth about 50 million.
See, I would say 50 million. He's got a market value here of 35 million, which is crazy, but that's gone down since the charges
makes sense.
Got put on him, which was 50 million.
I think without charges,
before the charges, 30 million after.
I think without charges, Brentford are probably going to demand 60, probably north of 60 million.
I think if you can get him for 50 million right now, I think you just snap Brentford's hands off for it. Start playing in, I think January it is.
Yeah, you got Richarlison until January. It is what it is. It's not the end of the world. I think that would be a smart piece of business. But Levy, I know how Levy works. He's not going to pay for Toney's wages for 6 months while he's not playing. He ain't going to do it.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. And last but not least, let's talk about Ashley Phillips once again. Alan Nixon says that Tottenham's move for Ashley Phillips may collapse. Phillips has had a medical at Spurs. However, Spurs have not met Rovers' valuation. Rovers are asking for 5 million plus many extras for Phillips. I mean, a few days ago, this was all done. Apparently, we'd done a deal for 3 million. He'd come in for a medical. He'd had his medical. I don't understand how a player can come in for a medical without having the deal done with the clubs. It doesn't make sense.
I don't get it either, unless they somehow sanction a medical because they thought they were close enough that it was inevitable the deal was going to go through and now there's a snag. I don't understand how they can sanction it when the deal's not been done, essentially. But Blackburn are basically doing what Levy has done a million times, to just go back to the negotiation table after a supposed agreed deal and change the terms. And so it doesn't surprise me that that's been done to us now. And look, it's 5 million plus add-ons. I'm sure there'll be some sort of compromise on it. I don't know. It depends how cash-strapped Blackburn are. Apparently the deal was agreed because they're in serious financial trouble, but maybe they're not in that bad that they have to accept a 3 million fee. I don't know.
Let's be honest. What's the difference between 3 and 5 million?
Well, to a Premier League club, it's not.
And we are a Premier League club.
No, I'm saying for Blackburn, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying just pay the extra couple of million then. If you really believe in him and you're about to pay 3 million and then Blackburn are saying, no, it's 5, then pay the 5.
Yeah, don't miss out on it. But again, it's to go, look, Levy is one to try and save every single pound, isn't he? So he's not. If that's a negotiation, you don't just say yes to everything the other party says. You have to posture. But I agree. You don't want to. We shouldn't be missing out on him because of that.
Yeah, absolutely spot on. And you know what's going to happen though. If we do sign him, he probably becomes a Joe Rodon. If we don't sign him, he probably turns into like a Jack Grealish, where he turns out to be one of the most expensive players in English football. That's the way it works with Tottenham, doesn't it? But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we've brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.